What if the fastest, most brutal American muscle cars of the 1960s were actually hiding performance secrets that even hardcore Dodge fans never fully understood? Welcome to Wheel Infology, where we go past the showroom floor and deep into the engineering secrets of automotive legend. Today, we're counting down 12 of the most ferocious, most jaw-dropping Dodge muscle cars from the 1960s that still make modern performance cars look over their shoulder. Not just horsepower numbers and quarter-mile times. We're talking about the stories, the secrets, and the shocking engineering decisions behind these American icons. Stay locked in, because by the time we hit number 1, you'll never look at a Dodge the same way again. If classic American muscle and raw performance history are your thing, hit that like button and subscribe to Wheel Infology right now. What comes next is absolutely going to earn it. Number 12, 1967 Dodge Coronet A990 Hemi. Let's open with a car that looked sharp but hit like a freight train. The 1967 Dodge Coronet A990 Hemi arrived wearing a redesigned front grille borrowed directly from the Charger lineup, giving it an aggressive face that told everyone on the street exactly what it was capable of. Hood vents, subtle RT badges, and a stance that communicated pure intent before the engine ever spoke. Step inside and you found bucket seats, a floor-mounted shifter option, and a tachometer available for $50 extra. A small price for knowing exactly how hard you were pushing that engine. And the engine conversation with this car was extraordinary. The standard power plant was already formidable, a 440 cubic inch Magnum V8 producing 375 horsepower, included in the base price of $3,199 for the hardtop. But the real headline was the optional 426 cubic inch Hemi, available for just $908 additional. That engine produced a factory-rated 425 horsepower, though anyone who drove one understood the actual output was substantially higher. At idle, the Hemi was deceptively calm, smooth, almost quiet, suggesting nothing of what waited beneath that hood. Press the accelerator and the transformation was immediate and violent. 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds, quarter mile in 13.5 seconds at 105 miles per hour. The braking hardware matched the performance heavy-duty ball joints, 11-inch drum brakes borrowed from police pursuit specifications, and optional front disc brakes available for $70. The Coronet A990 Hemi wasn't just a fast car. It was a complete performance machine, built from every component outward with a single purpose in mind. Number 11, 1969 Dodge Charger 500 Hemi. Here is a car where aerodynamic engineering met raw Hemi power in a combination that produced something genuinely extraordinary. The standard 1969 Charger was a beautiful vehicle with a significant problem at speeds exceeding 170 miles per hour. The recessed grille and tunneled rear window created aerodynamic instability that made high-speed competition dangerous. Dodge's solution was the Charger 500. The changes were surgical. A flush-mounted front grille eliminated the air trap. A fastback rear window treatment smoothed the airflow over the roofline. The result was a car that could sustain velocities that the standard Charger simply could not manage safely. Production numbers tell the rarity story clearly. Only 392 Charger 500 units were produced in total. Of those, just 67 received the 426 cubic inch Hemi engine. And of that already exclusive group, only 27 came equipped with a 4-speed manual transmission. Finding one today represents a genuine collector achievement. The mechanical specification was serious throughout. The Hemi produced 425 horsepower through dual 4-barrel carburetors feeding those legendary hemispherical combustion chambers. The A30 for Super Track Pack added a Dana 60 rear axle with 4.1 gears and sure grip differential, front disc brakes, and power-assisted steering to manage the substantial forces involved. 0 to 60 in approximately 5 seconds, quarter mile in 13.6 seconds. A car restored to 97.25 out of 100 points at Concours evaluation tells you everything about how seriously collectors regard this machine. Number 10, 1968 Dodge Dart GTS for $140. This is the sleeper that nobody saw coming. Park the 1968 Dodge Dart GTS 440 next to any other car on the street and nothing about its appearance suggested what lived under that hood. The exterior badging even referenced the smaller 383 cubic inch engine, a deliberate misdirection. That made the eventual revelation at the traffic light all the more devastating for whoever lined up beside it. The 440 cubic inch Magnum V8 installed in this car was never supposed to fit inside the Dart's compact engine bay. Dodge acknowledged the engineering challenge directly. Complete Dart bodies were shipped from the assembly plant without engines or transmissions, then routed to a specialist facility that performed the extensive modification work required to install the massive power plant. Every completed vehicle was inspected by Dodge before dealer delivery. No factory warranty was offered. The cars were built to win races, not to satisfy warranty administrators. The performance numbers justified every engineering compromise. 0 to 60 in 5 seconds flat. Quarter mile in 13.3 seconds at 107 miles per hour. The absence of power steering was not an oversight. The engine occupied every available inch of space in the engine bay, leaving no room for the steering hardware. This was a straight-line weapon of exceptional capability, wearing the most ordinary exterior Dodge could provide. Every driver who discovered what the Dart GTS 440 actually was came away with the same assessment. This was the most honest sleeper muscle car the decade produced. Number 9, 1968 Dodge Hemi Dart L023. The GTS 440 was a sleeper. The 1968 Dodge Hemi Dart L023 was something else entirely. A purpose-built drag racing instrument that happened to carry streetcar bodywork. Only 80 examples were produced at the Hamtramck, Michigan facility before being transferred for specialized race preparation. The goal was singular and unambiguous: minimum weight, maximum power, fastest possible elapsed time. Weight reduction was approached with genuine aggression. Body panels were constructed from lightweight materials. Glass thickness was reduced throughout. The rear seat was eliminated entirely. Window operation in the rear quarters was achieved through fabric pull straps rather than mechanical regulators. The side glass in the rear didn't open at all. Every gram that could be removed without compromising structural integrity was removed without hesitation. The 426 cubic inch Hemi engine producing 425 horsepower was installed into a vehicle stripped of every non-essential component. No radio, no heater, nothing that didn't contribute directly to forward motion. Cross-ram intake manifold, dual carburetors, hooker headers, Dana rear axle, front disc brakes. Transmission options were limited to a 4-speed manual or a Hurst prepared automatic. The result was a quarter-mile capability under 11 seconds numbers that genuinely challenged purpose-built race cars of the era. Some drivers, with basic tuning modifications, reached the 9-second range. The example that survives, with only 3,799 original miles, represents one of the most significant surviving drag racing artifacts from the entire muscle car era. Number 8, 1966 Dodge Charger 426 Hemi. 1966 Dodge Charger arrived mid-year with a fastback roofline that established an entirely new visual language for American performance cars. Hidden headlights integrated into the grille, a continuous taillight panel spanning the full rear width, 4 individual bucket seats with a full-length center console connecting front to rear seats that folded flat to expand cargo capacity. The interior execution was genuinely premium wood-grain steering wheel, illuminated gauge cluster, 150 mph speedometer, and a 6,000 revolutions per minute tachometer that reminded the driver exactly what kind of machine they were operating. Engine selection covered the full performance spectrum. The standard 318 cubic inch V8 provided adequate transportation. The 383 cubic inch option with 325 horsepower brought the quarter mile down to approximately 16 seconds at 85 miles per hour. Genuinely competitive for 1966, but the 426 cubic inch street Hemi transformed the Charger into something that occupied a different category entirely. Dual carburetors, street-optimized camshaft profile, 425 factory-rated horsepower with actual output approaching 500. The $880 option cost included upgraded springs and enlarged braking hardware. 0 to 60 in 6.4 seconds. Every spoiler on every American performance car that followed owes something to that engineering decision. Number 7, 1965 Dodge Coronet A990. The 1965 Dodge Coronet A990 existed in the territory between street car and pure race machine, a factory-built competition weapon wearing civilian bodywork that concealed its true nature from anyone who didn't already know what to look for. The 426 cubic inch race Hemi installed in this car was a different animal from the street Hemi, lighter, more aggressive. Built without compromise for maximum performance output, aluminum cylinder heads saved 80 pounds compared to the cast iron units on standard engines. Magnesium intake manifold, lightweight oil pump, roller timing chain. Every component chosen for weight reduction and performance enhancement simultaneously. Factory documentation rated the engine at 425 horsepower. Actual dynamometer testing consistently demonstrated output exceeding 500 horsepower, a gap between the official number and reality that Dodge's engineers understood perfectly and chose not to advertise publicly. The exterior preparation was equally purposeful. Only 2 headlights were installed. The remaining 2 positions were fitted with empty housings behind a special grille treatment. No passenger side windshield wiper. No exterior mirrors. Aluminum covers where backup lights would normally be installed. Hood, doors, fenders, and bumper were subjected to acid dipping, a process that removed material from the metal panels to reduce weight beyond what conventional manufacturing achieved. Inside, no radio, no heater, no dome light, no sun visors. Lightweight bucket seats on aluminum mounting brackets. Corning lightweight glass throughout. Skinny front tires, massive drag specification rear tires. Quarter mile in 14.7 seconds at nearly 120 miles per hour. From a car that looked, from the outside, like someone's sensible family. Transportation. Number 6, 1964 Dodge 330 Max Wedge. Therefore, the Hemi arrived to define Dodge performance. The Max Wedge engine was the weapon of choice for anyone serious about drag racing. The 1964 Dodge 330 Max Wedge represented the factory's most committed expression of that philosophy. A production vehicle built around a 426 cubic inch engine featuring 12.5 to 1 compression pistons, cross-ram intake manifold, and dual Carter carburetors producing 425 horsepower. What makes this particular configuration historically significant is the transmission pairing. In 1964, Chrysler introduced the A833 4-speed manual gearbox, and this was the only model year in which that transmission was mated to a Max Wedge engine. That combination exists nowhere else in Dodge production history, creating a collector's significance that extends well beyond the performance specifications. Factory 830 for rear axle, 4.1 gear ratios, super stock leaf springs providing launch traction. 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds. Quarter mile in 14.1 seconds. The visual presentation was unambiguous about the car's intentions. Skinny front tires on polished wheels for minimum rotating mass. Rear 15 by 7 inch steel wheels carrying bias ply slicks over 28 inches tall and 7 inches wide, providing the contact patch needed for maximum acceleration from rest. Simple drum brakes, manual steering, torsion bar front suspension set at elevated ride height in the traditional race car stance. Everything about the 1960 for Dodge 330 Max Wedge communicated exactly one message: this car was built to go fast in a straight line. And it did exactly that. Number 5, 1969 Dodge Super B 446 Packer 12. Loud, deliberately uncomplicated, and faster than almost anything that dared to line up alongside it. The 1969 Dodge Super B 446 Packer 12 was Dodge. Its most honest statement about what a muscle car was actually supposed to be. 3 2-barrel carburetors working in coordinated sequence on top of a 440 cubic inch V8 created an induction system that delivered power with a directness that single for barrel setup simply couldn't match. The exterior packaging made no effort towards subtlety. Bright Hemi orange paint, black vinyl roof, bumblebee stripes circling the rear bodywork, black steel wheels with zero decorative hardware. A black fiberglass hood with functional cold air induction scoop held in position by hood pins, the universal signal that this vehicle was prepared for serious use. 0 to 60 in 5.1 seconds. Quarter mile in 13.6 seconds through a TorqueFlite 3-speed automatic that managed the power delivery with surprising efficiency. The Super B at 12 remains one of the purest expressions of muscle car. Number 4, 1963 Dodge 330 Lightweight. 1963 Dodge 330 Lightweight arrived at the drag strip with the most powerful factory engine configuration the Max Wedge program ever produced. A 426 cubic inch V8 with a compression ratio of 13.5 to 1, the highest the factory ever offered, dual for barrel carburetors on a cross-ram intake, generating 425 horsepower from an engine that was essentially a purpose-built racing unit wearing street car credentials. The weight reduction program was comprehensive and genuine. Aluminum fenders, bumpers, and hood with functional scoop. Battery relocated to the trunk for improved weight distribution. Total competition weight, 3,330 pounds, remarkable for a full-size American sedan of the era. 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds. The 1963 Dodge 330 Lightweight was one of the quickest and rarest drag racing machines the factory ever produced, and it remains one of the most significant surviving examples of early 1960s American performance engineering. Number 3, 1969 Dodge Dart GTS 440 M code. Here is a car where rarity and performance intersect in a way that makes every surviving example genuinely precious. The 1969 Dodge Dart GTS carrying the M code designation received a 440 cubic inch V8 rated at 375 horsepower, the same engine architecture powering full-size muscle cars, compressed into the Dart's compactor body platform through the same specialized installation process used on the 1968 version. Only 640 hardtop examples with the M code designation were produced in 1969. The combination of low production numbers, high performance specification, and the visual impact of the B5 blue exterior with black interior and white accent stripe creates a collector package that the market has recognized with significant appreciation over the decades. TorqueFlite 3-speed automatic transmission as standard equipment, with rear axle ratios of 3.55 as base specification and 3.91 available for buyers, prioritizing acceleration above all else, 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds. Quarter mile in 12.7 seconds at 112 miles per hour. Numbers that put the 1969 Dart GTS for 140 in direct competition with purpose-built performance cars costing substantially more money. No power steering, no air conditioning. The engine base simply had no room for either. What it did have was a rear axle and gear specification optimized for straight-line traction, a lightweight platform that amplified every horsepower the 440 produced, and a visual anonymity that made every stoplight encounter a completely unfair contest for whoever didn't know what they were facing. Number 2, 1966 Dodge Charger Hemi NASCAR Special. But while the production 1966 Charger was making headlines on the street, a specially prepared version was competing at the highest levels of American motorsport and revealing engineering lessons that would influence Dodge performance vehicles for years afterward. The NASCAR campaign with the 1966 Charger exposed aerodynamic limitations that the engineering team addressed, with a solution so simple and so effective that it permanently changed American automotive design. The recessed grille and rear window tunneling that gave the production Charger its dramatic appearance became significant liabilities. At sustained superspeedway speeds, air management at 150 miles per hour and beyond required solutions that the standard body simply didn't provide. Dodge's response was methodical grille modifications to manage front-end airflow, and the addition of a trunk-mounted rear spoiler that stabilized the rear of the car at velocities where instability had previously made competition dangerous. That spoiler, a modest, functional piece of bodywork added to solve a specific aerodynamic problem, became available as a dealer-installed option on production Chargers. It was the first time any American manufacturer had offered a rear The 1966 Charger didn't just win races. It changed the vocabulary of American automotive design permanently. Number 1, 1963 Dodge Polara 500 Max Wedge. Dodge Polara 500 Max Wedge, and here we arrive at the car that sits at the foundation of everything Dodge performance became. The 1963 Dodge Polara 500 Max Wedge is not simply a fast car from a distant era. It is a surviving artifact of the precise moment when Dodge decided, without reservation or compromise, to build the most powerful street-legal vehicle American manufacturing could produce. The Max Wedge engine began its existence as a 413 cubic inch unit. Regulatory changes in organized racing for 1963 established a 427 cubic inch displacement ceiling, and Dodge responded by developing the 426 cubic inch version installed in this car. Dual carburetors, specialized intake manifold, automatic transmission, and a rear axle ratio calibrated for both acceleration and street usability. 0 to 60 in 5.1 seconds. Quarter mile in 13.6 seconds. From a car built more than 6 decades ago, with technology that had no access to electronic fuel injection, computer engine management, or any of the performance tools considered standard today. What makes surviving examples of the 1963 Polara 500 Max Wedge genuinely extraordinary is the combination of rarity and originality. Which of these 12 Dodge legends hit you the hardest? Drop it in the comments below. We read every single one. If you want more buried automotive history brought back where it belongs, hit that like button and subscribe to Wheel Infology. We are just getting started, and what we have coming next will make today look like the warm-up. Keep your eyes open and your curiosity running, because the greatest stories are always the ones they forgot to tell you. Thanks for watching.